Yeah, we need to have a talk. We need to have a chat. Today we have been shown the light. We understand it now. We see what the reality well and truly is. Manchester United are the worst Premier League side currently. Worst Premier League side. It's the worst Manchester United team of all time. I'll give them that. But it is most certainly, this season, the worst Premier League team. Easily. The title of the video, Relegation Standard. What do I really think Man United can get relegated? Yeah, I do. Please understand, there are 3 slots for relegation. Southampton are not gonna get enough points. Ipswich probably not gonna get enough points. Wolves got a new manager, by the way. He's got 6 points out of 6. 5 goals scored, 0 goals conceded. They played Leicester and us. Leicester at the moment are now winning away currently at Anfield against league leaders Liverpool. So they're doing something. Leicester are doing something Man United couldn't. That we won't do it. We won't go to Anfield and lead at all there. We'll get absolutely destroyed completely. Double figures. Fuck it. 10, 11 nil. That's going to be the case. It will. I promise you. I promise you that will be the case. Man United are filled with players that don't deserve to be sold. They don't deserve to be sold. They deserve to be sacked and, quite frankly, banned from ever playing a football match ever again. Because the shit they're doing for Man United, they'll just fuck off and do that shit for everybody else. Whoever else wants to take them, they will. They will. They'll piss off and they'll start fucking around, ruining other clubs that they go to. That's just the simplicity of it. It's just as simple as that. Some things, right, you don't need to overcomplicate. This is the simplicity of it. Manchester United are absolutely finished. We are not coming back, guys. We are not coming back. Not until we see the biggest destruction of a playing squad you have ever seen. Never seen before. The first club to ever do it. We have to be the first. Here is the kicker. We've still got Glazonomics at the very helm of everything, plus Mr. Cost-Cutting Exercise. Now, Man United is hemorrhaging money, so of course, as a football club, as much as you'd like to throw the book at and just spend endlessly in bringing players in and cancelling contracts, guess what? Can't necessarily do that. Can't necessarily do that because otherwise we'll go into administration because we'll overspend. We'll spend too much money. We'll be too much in the net negatives. We'll outspend the money incoming in a situation where we're already on the limit, supposedly. So the finances, we're fucked. The playing squad, we're fucked. Performances, we're fucked. The quality of training ground and stadium, we're fucked. Is there anything at this club that, from this standpoint, that we're not actually fucked with? Is there any part of this club that isn't unequivocally fucked? We need this January 5, 6, 7 signings. That's how bad this is. Clubs barely get one. Yeah, barely get one. Man United are synonymous for not signing any, many, if any, players in January. We need the biggest transfer window of January. We need a bigger transfer window than what Chelsea do. Chelsea spend for fun in the January transfer window. We need to outspend that. But we can't do it. We can't outspend that. We can't do better than that. So Chelsea can do whatever the hell they want. In Man United's case, we can't spend the money when we need to. We can't sack players when we need to. We can't sell players because they don't fucking care. Let's just be honest. And this is the thing, right? Let us steer this conversation towards specifics in certain players, right? And club situations, contract situations. As we all know, when it comes to spending money, we were told no big money contracts. Very first summer we get is Bruno getting a contract extension and a fat pay rise as well. Bruno today on 300k a week in his 30s, I believe he's in his 30s. In his 30s and 300k a week. So far this season, he's been red carded 3 times. He's been red carded 3 times, not carried the team once, not single-handedly won a game once. It's actually cost us games multiple times. He is the worst 300k a week player playing today. And some people might argue, oh, Rashford's worse. Well, Rashford's not playing. He's been ostracised. That's it. He's gone. You know, the club have cut ties with them. Well, guess what? Manchester United, you need to cut ties with Bruno. You need to cut ties with this guy, with this clown. He's your club captain, guys. Your club captain is getting sent off for recklessness. And I don't want to hear from people saying, oh, but look at the way that he's had to try and retrieve the ball. He tried to retrieve the ball. He didn't quite win it at the end of the day. He's bound to get second. Okay, why are you committing to something you know is going to absolutely royally screw you over? He's not quite got it upstairs, has he? He's not quite got it upstairs. He's not quite that intelligent. He's not very smart, guys. Staying on the left-hand side, Diogo Dalot. So actually, the Portuguese trustworthy contingent at this club is a major problem, performance-wise. Dalot has been rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. We need to sell him. We need to get rid of him. Get Dalot out of this club. He is so bad. He is useless. Completely and utterly useless. Seriously, he's costing us every week now. Crap performances, no option of attack, and suspect at the back. He's a nothing player. Absolutely nothing player. And he struggles with the basic fundamental passing, so he can't pass the ball. His shooting's rubbish. It takes a wonder goal to actually get anybody to go, oh, wow, Dalot. Can't tackle. Out of position. Can't really dribble. And he's just not that intelligent with picking the right decision. You know, choosing the right option. Who do I pass to? What do I do here? You know, and that's That to me is a huge problem. We need someone who is left-sided to play on the left side. Dallo has nothing on Masraoui, nothing on him at all. So, with that being said, people might say, "Oh, keep him as a back." No, fuck him. No, 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 no. We're not doing this today, guys. We're not doing this today. Keep him as a backup. Keep him as a backup. Oh, he'd be great as a backup. Fantastic option as a backup. No, we're not doing this today. We're not playing this stupid game. He is wank. Get him out. Leave this club. You offer this team nothing. Rasmus Højlund. I mean, what the fuck? £72 million, and all I hear is the guy's young, he's inexperienced, mate. The guy has got so much responsibility, and the guy literally, he's like an instruction manual. He's the sort of guy that when he goes to an instruction manual, to get the job done right, you need to read every page. He reads the first page of a 10-page manual. Forget a 100-page manual. He just reads the first page of a 10-page manual, and he closes the book. He doesn't do anything else. He offers us nothing. For so much height, you think he's strong. The guy flops so much. He flops like a fish on a deck, on dry land. He flops around, gasping for breath. He is useless. Absolutely useless. And what we were hoping to see him actually do at this club, it's very evident and very apparent that he's not cut out for this team. He's not cut out for the Premier. He's not cut out for this team. We need better options. We need better options. We need someone who's actually going to bring more players into the attack, get more players involved, bring teammates closer together, structurally play on the offense better, connect the dots. This is what you are not doing. The guy is isolating himself so much, but when he does have the opportunities and you say, right, Rasmus, basics, what do you do with the basics? Lay off the ball to a teammate, put yourself into a good position. He can't do even that. It is step one. You can't get the fuck. He doesn't know which foot to step with. It's like, right, all you got to do is step forwards. Oh, do I go with my right or my left? Is my right or my left? Just step forwards, man. Oh my god, it's not that difficult. Seriously. Rasmus, you are not very smart, are you? You're not the sharpest tool in the shed, are you? Osimhen, Osimhen is better than with Rasmus Højlund, right? Evidently is not quite all the player that everyone assumed he'd crack up to be. And what happens? Even Osimhen now is significantly better than Rasmus Højlund. Significantly better. And Osimhen, his career's fallen off of a cliff. A career free fall is better for Man United up top than Rasmus Højlund, who's supposed to be in the developmental phase on the up. How does this happen? How does this happen? So let's establish here that out of players that are problems that need to be gotten rid of, right? That they've outed themselves. Andre Onana, I don't even want to talk about goalkeepers anymore because both of our goalkeepers are finished. Absolutely finished. So Onana needs to go. Bayandi needs to go. Actually, let me go through this Then we go through this team, right? Onana, goodbye, get gone. Dallo, goodbye, get gone. Fernandez, goodbye, get gone. Hoyland, goodbye, get gone. Ericsson, goodbye. Casemiro, I mean, let's be real. Casemiro, as a technical player, is better in the in that defensive pivot than Kobe Minu is, or anybody else really. Maybe barring Agate, but he's being ostracised, so he's going to have to end up going. Anthony, I think, is in low stead with the squad, so he's going to have to end up going. Um, Garnacho, I think the guy's just not cut out for being a Manchester United player. Let's go through the unused subs. Unused subs, Johnny Evans. The guy has no future in his career. Let's just be honest, he's just taking up a squad slot. Lindelof, he's not United quality. So we're up to 10. We're up to 10. Mason Mount's too injury prone. That's 11. Marcus Rashford, who's going to be going. That's 12. And Luke Shaw, another example of Mount. Finished. Dead. He has to go. Been at this club for about a decade. About a decade now. That's 13 players. 13 players. Bayendir as well. So make that 14. 14 players, 14. And I've excluded Maguire. I've excluded Maguire from that. Because again, Maguire, with the performance today, was steady. But that's as best as it's going to get. That's as good as it's going to get. Steady Eddie performances. But if his performances go to shit, then he will have to be on the list. So we could jump onto 15 players at any time. 15 players. How many players have I not counted here? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my god, out of the whole squad, 9 players are safe. 9 players are safe. 9/10. Meanwhile, 14, definitely 14, are not. There are more players that need to go than those that should stay. You tell me another Premier League side that right, in the last 10 years, that's needed 14 players, 14 to be gotten rid of and replaced, plus improved, right? You're not just replacing 14 players with any old player. You're upgrading 14 times. Let that sink in. You are upgrading 14 times. You have to make 14 transfers that improve the team. You tell me how we avoid complete and utter capitulation and end up in lows we are still yet to see. Someone tell me how that is surmountable. I dare you. I challenge you to tell me how that's surmountable. That's not a 3-year process. That's not. Because one thing that you can establish about this team is that people at this club value the idiots, right? But people who come into the club, they get this stupidity gene, they get the bozo gene, it becomes toxic with them included, and then you find another player that just ain't good enough. or is just not cut out for it. And then that becomes another player to replace. The only person I could ever trust to rip most of those contracts up is one Ralph Rangnick. And financial backing from Qatari ownership. Ineos will not provide that level of backing. But guys, that is the only level of backing that's going to fix this. And because we're not going to be able to fix that with that level of backing, because that's not possible, there's only one way we're going, guys, and that's down to the Championship. Manchester United are relegation standard. Relegation standard. We're on the way down. And unless Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox, Christopher Vivell do an absolute madness, and Sergeant Ratcliffe actually goes, you know what? I'm taking money out of the Ineos Petroleum Company and sticking that shit in here to absolutely devastate the landscape and rebuild it from scratch. I mean, I'll tell you what, January will be the biggest telltale on the future of this football club and its ownership. Now, one thing I will say is that with Qatari ownership, by the way, the Qataris, I'll put it like this, the Qataris are sat out there with their feet kicked up, watching the prospect of Ineos potentially failing, yeah, and sending this club to the depths of despair. And the best part for us about that situation is that as bad as this gets, if they decide to shut up shop and head out or get forced out, the Qataris will just walk back in. Because the only club that Sheikh Jassim ever cared about attaining for any reason was Manchester United. He does not give a fuck about any other club. He doesn't care. He only thinks about Manchester United. And if he comes in, debt is gone, so the finances of the club get sorted out instantly. Maybe we see the same sort of board that we have today. He would be absolutely goddamn ruthless with these players. Because people that take the piss will just get axed. Turkish club settings, cancel contracts. I mean, fuck it, Eric Bailly was part, right? And this was a guy that was on some big wages at Man United, by the way, about 140k a week for the sort of player he was. Went to, I think it was Besiktas, and those guys cancelled his contract along with loads of others. That's a significant wage for them to just rip up, right? To pay him off and say, listen, you're not going to work, mate. See you later. Yeah? Turkish club settings, that's the best we can do. And God only knows what the hell's going to happen against Newcastle. God only knows. We're missing Agate. To be honest, Bruno missing from the team will be a blessing in disguise. Honestly, I don't care. Bruno missing from that team will be a blessing in disguise. And this is the thing. When you look at Bruno, people will argue, oh, but his GA. Yeah. Football is one of the few sports where stats lie. Stats will lie. Do you know the test that never fails? It never has ever failed in anybody's life, unless you are Delulu, is the eye test. Yeah, if a player fails the eye test, their GA, write it off, mate. It has no significance because stats that say, oh, this player gets really good goals and assists, has really good rate of goals and assists. Okay, have it your way, right? Stats and assists, goals and assists. the big issue for that, yeah, is you don't see on those same data sheets, you just don't see what the negative implication of that player's presence on the pitch is. You don't. So, whilst everyone's looking at the Excel spreadsheets, oh my God, look at all of these amazing numbers that he posts. Yeah, well, guess what? The eye test is telling you that the performance is absolutely atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Bruno, people will say, well, Bruno, we play better when Bruno's on the pitch. No, we don't play better. We don't play better when Bruno's on the pitch. Because Bruno seems to be costing us on the defensive aspect by not offering in the attack the sort of output that we need to protect the rest of the team. His cheap giveaways of possession jeopardise the legitimacy, the authenticity of that midfield and defence. It costs us because when we should be keeping the ball, we don't. So when a player faces more attacks in defence, there's more likelihood that he's going to let a player slip through, that they're not going to press in, that they're not going to close down a space, and that a player's going to get a shot off or a shot away. And players around him, I mean, Dallo and Bruno Fernandes are literally the Chuckle Brothers today. To me, to you, who's getting sent off? Who's getting sent off? Manuel Ugarte. Some people will say, well, what's the point of subbing Ugarte off? Because he's going to be suspended anyways on that yellow card. And to be fair, I can see why you shouldn't and why you should. Take Ugarte off, bring a player who's not on a yellow one, so that you stay with 10 players on the pitch and not potentially go down to 9. With 10 players, there's definitely a chance that you can find a way to win the game. You can. Here's the problem. If he did get sent off, right? If he did get sent off, then his 1-match suspension is already going to stay as a 1-match suspension because it would only have been a second yellow card. But Ugarte, from what we've seen so far, doesn't get hot-headed and, do the most unnecessary things. We just needed his legs. Occupy space. Put certain positions on the pitch off. Bring Casemiro into there. And just tell Ugarte, right, you can relax a little bit. Just use your energy. Yeah? Don't worry about not diving into anything. Just be an extra body and occupy space. Casemiro will go and sort things out for you. That should have been the play. Kobe Mainu playing in the 8 isn't working. It's not working. We need him to play in the 10. And it's like people will turn their attention to Amorim. They will. And it's like, honestly, if people could understand this shit the way that I can, Amorim could be the second coming of Christ and everyone would still hate him. Everyone would still hate him, right? And people will say, this guy needs to, this guy, he's awful, he's so bad, sack him. And I'm just like, how many players has he signed for this team? How many players? 0. Okay, so he hasn't got any assets that he wants in the team. Has he sold anybody yet? Nope. No, he hasn't. So we already know he's playing without his team. This team got Eric Ten Hag sacked, not just sacked Ten Hag, but also severely has seemingly mishandled the summer. That I suppose we can stick the blame on Dan Ashworth for that, because he was the guy that was basically the lead voice in the summer, signing off on everything. So, but Dan Ashworth's gone now, and what we need is an absolute ruthless streak. And I don't know how bad things are going to get. Just as as a last thing, right before I sign off on this, just as a last thing, we need Glazers out back going again. Like, people need to be protesting. People need to be marching through those streets. I mean, you've got a home game coming up. There you go. There's a protest. There's a protest opportunity right there. Go and protest against the absolute abysmal state of this club, and let everybody know, let the whole world know that what we're seeing is absolutely unacceptable. Because nothing will happen if nobody does anything. So, Glazer outs, wherever you are, take to the streets again. Clearly, Glazer slash Ineos ownership isn't really bearing all the fruits that it should be. There's a lack of productivity from the ownership. So yeah, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Manchester United are finished. Like, subscribe, and yeah, we're done. We're finished, ended. So yeah, take care, people. Um, hope everyone had a good Christmas, and onwards to a new year, which I can't imagine is going to be all that much better, to be honest. But yeah, here's what it is.